Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Video Game Easter Eggs and Hidden Details, the series where I share some of the best Easter eggs and details found in video games, with the only rule being they cannot have featured on this channel before. Basically, if you want new Easter eggs delivered to your subscription feed each and every week, then make sure you're subscribed. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Now, I literally just said that this series is all about Easter eggs that I've never shared before. So you'll probably be surprised to see Gears of War 4. I mean, Gears of War 4 released almost 10 years ago, and given that finding Easter eggs is sort of my thing, you would think that I had found everything there was to find in the roided up shooter. Well, not quite. Now, the first of these unknown Easter eggs can be found in Act 4, which sees you and the team trying to navigate a storm. After destroying a power generator, you'll come to this area, and if you position yourself just right, you can see a strange face high up on a balcony, which will appear and disappear depending on how close you are. So the only logical thing to do is throw a grenade up to the balcony, and if done right, this will happen.
Fire in the hole! Nice! This will do.
So a previously locked door opens, allowing you to pick up the real gun, which looks pretty cool. Now, despite its name, the real gun is actually a paintball gun, which means you can have literal seconds of fun shooting it at the wall. Now, I don't know if it's just a placebo, but to me, the real gun doesn't seem to do much actual damage. But again, it could be a placebo, and the brightly coloured shots make me think that it's way less powerful than it actually is. Oh, and if you spend too long in the secret room deciding on whether the real gun is for you or not, this will happen. The other Gears 4 Easter egg is another Easter egg weapon, but this one takes a bit more work. During Act 3, you'll come to this room that's full of enemies. After clearing out the bad guys, you'll need to destroy all of the pods in the room, which is surprisingly satisfying. Now, you're probably thinking, this seems pretty easy. Well, it's about to get much more difficult. Sitting on a shelf, you can find a skull, and what you need to do is get the skull from one end of the room to the other. Now, of course, you can't just pick up the skull and walk it across the room. That would be too easy, so instead, you have to shoot the skull across the room. I mean, it is Gears of War after all. Now, the first time that I tried this, the skull got stuck in this pile of... well, I don't know what this is, but the skull got stuck inside of it, so I had to reload the checkpoint and try again. Luckily, the second time went a lot smoother, and when the skull reaches its destination, a golden shotgun will appear behind the gate. This shotgun is called the Raging Buccaneer, and when you shoot it, this will happen. So each time you fire the Raging Buccaneer, you'll be treated to a super cinematic slow-mo effect, which is cool. I'm just not sure it's shooting a skull across a room kind of cool. So High on Life 2 released last week, and I love it. That being said, the game is very buggy right now, with soft locks being reported almost daily. But as a fan of High on Life 1 and its DLC, of course I'm going to love High on Life 2. But just be warned, it needs a few patches before I personally would recommend it. Anyway, much like the first game, High on Life 2 does that thing where it has dialogue for almost everything that you do. For example, when you first arrive on the cruise ship, you're supposed to follow the queue like a good player. But you can also just walk through the railings, which I guess makes you a bad player. Well, it turns out if you land on one of these railings just right, it will shoot you forward at a much faster speed than normal. And if you make it to the end of the queue in double quick time, this will happen.
Hello, esteemed guests.
This is a long queue.
Hey, you're not supposed to be here already. Are you speedrunning or something? This is crazy. How did you get here so fast? I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I'm gonna tell on you.
So Suto will call you out for speedrunning, which I think is pretty funny. Next up, at the Bounty Hunters HQ, you can find several locked doors, which despite letting you press the button to open them, don't let you in. Well, there is one exception. If you go to this door and press the button a few times, this will happen. So inside the room you can find a bunch of Fergals playing cards, which I'm guessing is a reference to the famous dogs playing poker painting by Cassius Coolidge. Now this next Easter egg might not be an Easter egg, but I've been conditioned to think that it is. At the beach you can find this. So on this out of the way patch of sand, I mean I wouldn't really call it an island, you can find a volleyball with, well I don't know what's on the ball, but it's a volleyball with something on it, which reminds me of Wilson from Castaway. Like I said, I've been conditioned to think that every volleyball in any game ever is a reference to Wilson, so perhaps I'm reading into this one too much. Let me know what you think. The final High on Life 2 Easter egg is the best of the lot. When entering the Dark Forest area, it's very easy to get lost, with each doorway taking you to a different location. Well, when you first arrive at the forest, you need to go left and left again to find the toilet. Then head back out and go left, left and then right. If done correctly, then you'll find yourself here. Now leave the room and head right and make your way to the waterfall and enter the secret room behind it to find a hidden map. On the map you can see the letters LLL, RFRL, which are directions to the Easter egg that we're looking for. So head back to the forest and go left, left, right, forward, right, and then finally left to find this. So this is the warehouse level from Tony Hawk 1, and many of the following Tony Hawk games after, recreated in High on Life 2. I mean, I think the skateboarding in this game is pretty cool, so being able to explore warehouse in High on Life makes this a great Easter egg. Now Overwatch became Overwatch 2 back in 2023, but was then rebranded as Overwatch again in February 2026, which isn't confusing at all. Fans of the game will know that there have been a lot of broken promises in that time, with entire modes being supposedly on the way, only to never appear. And I think this next Easter egg acknowledges that. On the Watchpoint Gibraltar level, you can find this. So this room is almost a one-to-one recreation of the "This is fine" meme.
This is fine.
Like I said, given the issues that Overwatch has had over the years, I think this is pretty funny. Now, I was recently playing Scarface The World Is Yours to record some gameplay for another video, and I found myself at the Babylon Club. Just like the movie, the club is lively. Well, lively for a PS2 game. Anyway, you can stand there watching everyone else have fun, or you can join in yourself.
Ride on your burro later?
So stepping on the dance floor and pressing the aim button will cause Tony to dance in a very typical Tony way, which is brilliant. Now you might have heard that Reanimal is made by the same guys that made Little Nightmares 1 and 2, so you might think that the Easter egg I found in the brilliant co-op horror game is a reference to one of those games, but it's not. Early on in the game you gain the ability to blow up mines using spears, and as you might expect, these mines cause quite the explosion. Well, when you blow up the mine near the hotel, this will happen. So as expected, the mine will cause significant damage to the hotel. But what I want you to pay attention to is the hotel sign itself. You see, after the explosion, the T in the hotel sign is tilted to the right, which could be a reference to another atmospheric 2D adventure game, Limbo. In that game, you also mess up a hotel sign, where the T shifts to the right in an almost identical way. I mean, I could be reading way too much into this, but given the similar style of game and the fact that it's the same word, makes me believe that this was intentional. So let me know what you think. Now, I love it when a game lets you decide that you'd rather not enter an extremely creepy island and instead gives you the option to go home. And that's exactly what happens in Total Chaos. You see, when you arrive on the island, you can simply turn around, get back on the boat and go home, saving you a lot of trouble in the process. Okay, so that's a cool secret to find, but it's not particularly in depth, with the credits rolling pretty much straight away. Well, that's where Metal Saga comes in. Metal Saga is a post-apocalyptic RPG where you command a tank, and if you don't command a tank, well then you're pretty much useless. Now at the beginning of the game, your mum asks you if you want to live the glamorous life of a hunter or the more stable and secure life of a mechanic. Now I thought that choosing mechanic would do what most other games do, as in the credits would roll and that would be it. Here's the thing, Metal Saga goes the extra mile and shows you exactly what your life would be like if you did choose to be a mechanic. Now, you might be wondering how I came to learn of this brilliant secret ending, given that Metal Saga didn't even release here in the UK. Well, the story behind that is really cool. You see, I've been posting reels on Facebook, and one of the developers of Metal Saga watched one of them and then commented about this ending, but he didn't give much away. So when I tried this for myself, I was smiling the entire time. Now, It To The Stickman lets you play as loads of different characters, each with their own moves and perks. These characters are usually workplace themed, such as the task dodger who actively moves around the screen to avoid you picking him. Well, it turns out there are a couple of secret characters in the game that I can't quite imagine holding down a 9 to 5. One of the floors that you can find as you make your way to the top is the gym, which I can confirm is indeed a gym. Well, if you perform 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups and 100 squats, which does take some serious time, you will unlock this guy. So your reward for all that effort is Saitama, better known as One Punch Man. Now, if you're not familiar with One Punch Man, then you might be wondering why you had to do all those exercises just to play as him. Well, that's because Saitama's workout routine consists of 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every single day, which I'm guessing also takes some serious time. The other secret character is even cooler. In the game's overworld, you can find and destroy 5 cardboard cutouts, and after destroying the 5th cutout, a phone icon will appear on the map. So let's pick it up and see what they have to say.
You passed my cardboard CEO test. I have a new challenge for you.
Okay, so a gravelly voiced stranger will demand that we take out 3 CEOs, which isn't difficult but does give you a 5-star wanted level, so it's best to handle this quickly. Anyway, after taking down the final CEO, this will happen. So you can now play as the Dark Knight. Now what makes this really cool? Well, cooler than it already is that the moves that the Dark Knight uses are all moves that Batman would actually use. I mean, he even has batarangs. He also has a move called Interrogate, which when used will cause the Dark Knight to say things like this. Now, Marvel Cosmic Invasion is a game that I've had my eye on for some time now. I mean, it's basically guaranteed to have things for me to find. Well, after starting it last week, I managed to find something on the game's very first level. As you make your way through the streets of New York, you can find an ad for Mary Jane's new TV show, which, if the reviews for her Broadway appearance in Spider-Man 2 are anything to go by, isn't worth waiting up for.
Easy on the eyes, but not on the ears.
Now, every character in the game will walk past the ad and not mention it, probably because they also saw the Spider-Man 2 Broadway reviews. Well, that's true for everybody, apart from one man. If you walk past the ad when playing as Spider-Man, he will say this.
I gotta set the VCR for MJ's big show tonight.
So, Spider-Man will mention that he needs to record MJ's show, despite being in the middle of an alien invasion. If you know of any other cool things to find in Cosmic Invasion, then let me know in the comments, because I love things like this. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then a like is appreciated. If you're a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in games, then make sure you subscribe and turn notifications on so that you never miss a video. Be sure to scan the QR code on screen now to get yourself some gamer subs, even if you don't want to pay for them, and to be clear, if you do, I get a small kickback, but even if you don't want to pay, grab yourself some free samples on me. Anyway, as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.